So, we're back on Alligator Alley in a wildlife viewing area, and I'm going to see if we can find any gators, because we know they're in there. I'm just waiting for the audience to come on, because I'm not getting out of my car until I have to. It's super hot and muggy here. It's in the 90s. Feels like it's, what, like 105 degrees or something. But that's okay. I am a Florida girl. I can handle it. And I've got my special hat on, so there's that. All right, I'm gonna hop out of the car. I'm gonna be brave for part 2 of the Florida Everglades show. Looking for alligators. All right. Look how beautiful the clouds reflecting on the water here. This looks gorgeous. Where have all the gators gone? Long time passing. Where have all the gators gone? Long time ago. Where have all the gators gone? Gone to the Everglades one by one. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Who remembers that song? Well, maybe not the way I sang it. This is nice. I'm all by myself here. No one else around. It's not raining, and yet, well, I guess it is raining. I hear the rain on the roof. And I see the raindrops on the water. What a beautiful area. So peaceful. This is the Florida Everglades. I don't think there's going to be any high-speed boat chases here. But we're having a little bit of a... Oh, and what do we have there? A gator. We found him. And he's swimming. Here's the high-speed chase. Maybe he's going to catch some lunch. Wow, that is beautiful. Look at him go. Perfect. Cute gator, right? He's big too. I think this is one of the most beautiful shots of an alligator I've ever gotten. Hi, Ashley. No swimming here, that's for sure. Isn't he beautiful? Oh, I think he's gonna submerge. With the, oh no, he's still up. With the gators, for once you see them and then you don't. They disappear. It looks like he's about to pull a disappearing act. Oops. There he is. I got my sights on you, Mr. Gator. Are you gonna disappear? He's just kind of bobbing around. Thank you for that advice, Joshua. I was thinking of jumping in and then I was like, yeah, maybe not. Oh, not the morning sickness. So when you feel morning sickness, get water. Drink water right away. Because if you're gonna barf water. Look how pretty he is in the sunshine. Oh, what a beautiful alligator. Do you know how you can tell if he's an alligator or a crocodile? From the snout. Look how pretty he is. Hey Josh, you seem like you've got a chip on your shoulder. Maybe you're trying to be funny, I'm not sure. Try to be respectful. We respect the wildlife here on the Beach Report. And look next to the gator. Can you see? There's a turtle swimming over there. We've got a gator and a turtle in the same shot almost. Well, now they're in the same shot. Oh, gator's turning around. What's he doing? He's on the move. This is so great because I'm right above him. And he's not anywhere near me. Oh, is he submerging? I'm in awe of God's creatures, especially the alligators. It's like looking at a dinosaur. Yeah, it's very cool, isn't it? This is not AI. I want you guys to all understand and realize that this is real life in the Florida Everglades. If you want to see some real alligators, they're not difficult to find. They are literally everywhere. And this one is just showing us his beautiful bod. He's like the Esther Williams of alligators. Isn't he gorgeous? Yeah, buddy, you're on the Beach Report. I know he can hear us. Gators' ears are behind their eyes. And they have very good sense of hearing, very good sense of sight. They can feel vibrations in the water. They really are amazing critters. But yeah, you don't have any alligators in northern Canada, Josh. And it is usually a human's way of looking at an animal as in, what can this animal do for me? Like, how can I kill it and then use it for my own pleasure? Creatures like this, just let them live. Oh, look, we've got two turtles over here playing in the water. They're big. And our alligator is on the move again. He's very busy. He's not really that big now that I get a good look at him. He seems like he could be kind of young, like a teenager. I think he's very beautiful. And the way they swim, so graceful. Yeah, I would think really more, maybe more like 5 or 6 feet. But they can grow to be monsters, like 20 feet long from nose to toes or nose to tail. We got some kids coming up. They're gonna love this. Oh no, he's going to submerge. Oh, maybe, maybe not. Oh, he comes popping back up. I hunt and eat them. They also serve alligator chunks at Fort Lauderdale Airport. Oh, I know, they serve them everywhere. Hi, Selena. It's so beautiful here. And they don't really want to eat or hurt humans. We are not their prey. However, when there are so many humans competing with the alligators for fish, for food, for space in the water, the alligator might win. Hi, Gretchen. Hey, Sharose. Don't worry. Look, I'm on a really high platform, see? Nowhere near the gator. Nothing to fear here. On the beach report, we simply observe the wildlife. We don't get involved. We don't try to pet them unless we're at some kind of a zoo or something. But I believe in showing animals in their natural habitats, and I don't like zoos. I think zoos are like looking at jail for animals. This is where I want to see them, living their best lives in the Florida Everglades. That's a really beautiful sight. All right, Gretchen, be on the down low. Hi. Isn't he beautiful? It's the only one that I see. But you know there are more. And alligators have families. They've got mommies and daddies and babies, and they are social creatures. Wow, he's really given us a great show today, isn't he? I am loving this gator. It's so bright out, it's really hard to see. I have to go back under the shade. Hi. And it's raining again. So Selena, my husband, actually used to own his own Florida panther. But I've never seen them in captivity. I don't like zoos. This is my zoo. Boy, I couldn't have asked for better gator video today. You're welcome, Josh. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I could show you something you will never see in Canada. Yes, nice swamp puppy, right, Bob? He's a cutie. And this is life in the Florida Everglades. Isn't it beautiful? So peaceful, so calm. The sound you hear is the highway of Alligator Alley. But what you see in front of me is all thousands of acres of Florida Everglades. These are beautiful wild, this is a wild alligator. Living his best life. Just watch him all day. And I love how he looks in the sunshine. I don't ever put myself in danger around alligators. I respect them, and I am on a very high up observation deck. So he has nothing to do with me, and I have nothing to do with him. It's the other white meat. Yes, there are places that do serve up alligator in Florida and other parts of the country because there's a lot of alligators out there. And some of them do become a nuisance. Oh, okay, that's Fred. Thank you for letting me know, Edward. Hello, Fred. Yes, he's coming to you. He's like, did someone call my name? Edward's got it right. Everyone meet Fred, the alligator. The Florida alligator. Look how happy he is. What a great life Fred has. He's so beautiful, isn't he? Joshua only has bears and snowballs. Bears are scary, my goodness. I would not want to run into a bear anywhere. Just as I would never want to swim with an alligator. And Fred looks like he is definitely hunting something. He's very busy this afternoon. It would be super cool if we could watch you catch your food, Fred. I would love that. Look at his body. Look how beautiful he is. You can really see him up close here. Wow, look at the markings on his face. The way he looks, it makes me think he's just a teenager. Most of the gators I see don't have so many markings. They're like really big and black. I think he's just a little guy. But this is where I like to show you the gators. In the wild, Fred's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, and we will never meet. Boy, he is really beautiful. The older gators, I believe, are pretty much jet black. Look, there he goes. There he goes. He's submerged. And now you don't see him at all. Is that not the craziest thing? 1 minute you see them, and the next minute, boops, they're gone. He's completely gone. You don't see him at all. Isn't that crazy? Well, Fred's under there. We know he's there, and we know that where there's one Fred, there are more, for sure. Anyway, Fred just did his famous disappearing act, which is what gators do. Seriously. It's really, it tells you when you're in Florida, please don't ever go in the water around here because you don't know if there's a gator in the water. You never ever know. Oh, so Abe says from top of the nose to the eyes, take those inches, transfer to feet. I'm going to say 5 to 6 feet from the tip to the eyes, or the tip of the nose to the tip of the tail. I think he's at least 5 or 6 feet. And I've seen many gators many feet bigger than Fred. But Fred's a little guy. Don't you think, Abe? He's a little guy. All right, Gretchen, go make your tractor move, girlfriend. Love you. Have fun. Anyway, yeah, it's amazing how the gators disappear. So you just watched Fred be fully out there. We saw him very clearly. And the next minute, he's gone. Never, ever, ever, ever swim in Florida waters. You don't know what's in there, honestly. The ocean's one thing. I would never swim in a river, a lake, nothing, not in Florida. As my husband used to always say, if there's water, there's gators. Hi, Mac Daddy, welcome. I don't know if you got to see our gator before he made his disappearing act. We'll take one more look at the beautiful Florida Everglades. I just always feel so at peace here. I just love this area. It is very dangerous, but very beautiful wilderness. There is no ecosystem like it in the world. Oh, look, we've got a turtle. That's a big turtle, too. Well, he's another one going downtown, Judy Brown. Hi, Betty. It is the happiest lady in the good of USA. You're a truly wonderful, kind and nice person. Hope you like my comment. How could I not like your comment, Mac Daddy? That was very kind of you to say that. I get a lot of nasty things said to me, but it's the nice things that I cherish. Okay, you're seeing this this turtle. He's almost submerging, but he keeps coming up for air. It's a really big turtle, by the way. And he is actually going to near where our gator is. Does he know there's a gator there? He may or may not. Oh, and he just went all the way down too. Now we know there's a turtle and a gator in there, but we can't see them, but we know they're there. Isn't that crazy? Now, if we see some thrashing, we'll know what happened. Because gators eat turtles, but I see them living together all the time. Oh, look, there's a fish. Look at that fish. That looks like a catfish, maybe. It's pretty big. The Everglades is actually a river. It's called, yes, that's right, Abe. I'm glad you're on. It's a river of grass. And we see the fish. Like you can see a bunch of fish down here. This water is crystal clear, but then it, you know, it gets so murky at the bottom that you don't even see the gators that are in there. We know Fred's in there. Oh. Gretchen just sent a gift membership. Look at these guys. Now, do they know there's gators in there? I think canoes are a little dangerous too. Simba! Yay! Simba just got a gift membership. Welcome, Simba, to membership. Look, there they go. Going through the river of grass, these people are. Good luck. Good luck, people. I wouldn't do it. I've thought about canoeing or kayaking here, but no, I don't want to. So I hear a noise. Oh, that's that bird over there. I think that's a bird called a grackle. It keeps raining on and off here. And Fred is just gone. He's just at the bottom. You know, they can stay at the bottom for days. I've never been in an airboat, Abe. But someday we'll have to make that happen. It was a big talk. Oh, I love that you're here, Abe. This is awesome. It was a big talking point for Marjorie Stoneman Douglas and FDR, who actually made the Everglades a national park, and thank God he did. Hi, Wilson. I don't think that was a shark, Wilson. There could be sharks in here, I guess, but I doubt it. I believe this is brackish water, and sharks live in the ocean. You don't usually see sharks in the Everglades, except for where the ocean meets the Everglades. Well, thank you, Edward. I am so glad that you like the beach report. And I will toot my own horn and say there is no show like the beach report on YouTube or anywhere else except for Facebook, where I have another beach report show on Facebook that's a lot like this. You really think that was a baby shark, Wilson? I don't know. I think it was a catfish. I've learned a lot about the Florida Everglades and the animals in the Everglades from my husband, who passed away now almost 4 years ago. He was an animal wrangler, and he also did outreach for the Seminole Indians. And he was a Cuban Crocodile Dundee, if you will. And he taught me almost everything I know. And I want to honor him every day by also educating people about the wildlife in the Florida Everglades. Thank you, Technicolor. Yay for the beach report. Tell all your friends and help me make this channel grow. Like Gretchen, who has been giving away gift memberships every day for her birthday month. Yes, go to jillbooks.com. I am an author and a journalist, and I am a real person who actually cares about you. And people who follow the beach report become my beach report family. There's actually a point in South Florida where the crocodiles and alligators are in the same water. That would be here. I know, it is what it is, Mac Daddy. But you know what? When I'm in the Everglades, I feel my husband with me. And when you see alligators like that, I think it's pretty sure that my Ray said, hey, get some alligators for my baby to show on her show. Because he loved the beach report, and he called you guys my people. Oh, thank you, Mac Daddy. Okay, so here throughout the Everglades and Florida and the United States, there are often signs telling you about the area. And I like to read them to you because I like to learn and I like to teach you guys while we do. So what you're looking at is the southern tip of Florida. And where are we? Well, we are right smack here. Smack dab on the, almost in the middle of the Everglades. Well, actually, we are in the middle of the Everglades, but Alligator Alley goes all the way through. Let's see. Oh no, it's still the Everglades. It's all, that's Big Cypress National Preserve, the blue Alligator Alley part. Anyway, right now we are in the Everglades, and we could see manatees. So the fresh water becomes salty as it passes through mangrove swamps on its way to the ocean. It eventually meets the sea, where the water helps sustain eelgrass beds and the animals that rely upon these vital habitats for food. And that would be the Florida manatee. They eat healthy seagrass beds, but they have to be nourished by fresh water. Today, the Everglades is a fraction of what it once was. Canals, levees, and highways slice through the wetlands, disrupting the flow of water. Invasive plants and animals, from Brazilian peppers to Burmese pythons, threaten native species. Tree islands are also very important nesting areas for alligators and turtles. Tree islands are small islands of hardwood trees that break up the expanse of sawgrass, forming parcels of dry ground or tree islands. Mammals, including wild-tailed white-tailed deer and bobcats use these areas to stay dry during flooding and to raise their young. Each year, more than 50 inches of rain fall over the system of rivers, lakes, and wetlands south of Orlando. Lake Okeechobee acts as a giant rain barrel, accumulating and dispersing the fresh water. The water then passes through canals, stormwater treatment areas, and protected sawgrass marshes on its way south. Here's what the marshes look like. They serve as the most significant breeding ground for wading birds in all of North America. Everglades and Francis S. Taylor Wildlife Management Area alone conserves more than 650,000 acres of critically important wetland habitat. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission manages 3 areas within the Greater Everglades ecosystem that you see here. This is one of them that we are in right now. This property, along with Rottenberg and Holy Land WMAs, offers a chance for visitors to experience the Everglades at its finest. FWC and its partners are working to restore historic water flows, and with your help, they can continue to conserve this beautiful Florida treasure. This area is in honor of Florida Wildlife Officer Michelle Lawless, who lost her life in 2007. We're gonna walk over here, see if any more alligators come to greet us or if Fred comes back up from the depths. Fred was like right over here. This is also a great Florida birding trail. No swimming or diving, indeed. That would be crazy. But we are right in the Florida Everglades, right in the middle of it. Hi, Dennis. The Everglades actually covers around 5,000 square miles, 50 miles wide, and about 100 miles long. Thank you, Abe. So glad Abe is on. We love when we have experts to back up what I'm saying. Something is in the water there doing some kind of something. Fish, gators, who knows? Manatee, who knows? I'm walking over here like I always have to be careful walking around in my sandals because red ants live here. And they are nasty. Amazing Florida Everglades. Hi, Saint Dog. Yes, please hit that like and subscribe button, and let's help grow the Beach Report, where I take you on remotes to some of the most beautiful places in the world, like this, the Florida Everglades. Wow, I wonder what kind of fruit is growing on this tree. Thank you so much, Betty. And I appreciate every one of you who helps me do my job in supporting the Beach Report. What do you think this is? They're not apples. Looks like some kind of interesting fruit. But I'm not going over there to get it, so guess we'll all just have to wonder unless Abe knows. It didn't look like a mango or, I don't know, it didn't look like anything I've ever seen. A lot of exotic Ooh, something's happening over there. A lot of exotic plants and animals here in the Florida Everglades. Well, whatever's happening over there is happening under the water. It didn't look like crab apples. They looked too more well-formed and not apple-like. Kind of like mango it looked like, but I don't think it was a mango. Well, we certainly have a lot of mango trees here. Look at that area. That's where that boat went. The boat went down that river of grass. It's a pond apple or a Gatorade apple. I never heard of that. Interesting. Thank you so much, Abe. I'm so glad you're here. Feel free to point out anything else that I'm missing. Got some dense palms here. I'm always a little wary in these areas where there are no fencing. But one thing that you can tell where the gators come up on the land, because there will be paths, like gator paths. And you'll see them. It's pretty obvious. They will come up on land in a certain place. Let's see if we can find a gator path. Here you do see that the ground is a bit trampled, but I believe that's from people fishing. We'll go back up on the observation deck, which I love the observation deck here. I've never been to this one before, and I think it's the best. There's another one on the other side that's really big, and it's almost like an amusement park. But this one is nice and peaceful and quiet. And I'm virtually the only one here. Do you know how the sex of the gators are determined? No, please do tell us. I don't even see Fred anymore. He's just gone. He's down there. And there's someone putting their boat in. I do go kayaking in Sarasota, and I am aware that there are gators there. I've never seen one in the waters where I kayak, but you gotta be careful. I know, the reflection's amazing, right? It's like the most beautiful day. It's cooler, the cooler temperature favors females and the warmer temperature favors males. Oh, that's the same with the eggs of the turtles. Sea turtles also. The sex is determined by the temperature. Nature. God is so amazing. Everything He has created is so amazing. Okay, so I think I did just find a gator path. I believe that this is a gator path right here. The reason I think that, and what do you think, Abe? Because it's worn down, and yes, it could be from people fishing, but also kind of the way the weeds look. I think that gators crawl up this way. Just my opinion, I don't know for sure. Maybe Gabe knows. Look what I see. A lubber. He's a lubber, not a fighter. He doesn't want to hurt me, but boy, isn't he huge? Can you believe this? Look at these guys. He's like, I'm on the beach report. Yeah, they're big and they're everywhere. I got water in the car, Darla. I'm gonna hit it in a minute. But before I do, I gotta show you guys everything I can. It's just such a beautiful day here in the Florida Everglades. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? Oh, Saint Dog says, I love your website post about writing one's life story. It has really encouraged me. If you want me to talk about that, I certainly can. I am a memoir writer. One of my favorite jobs as a journalist was when I was with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Every summer, they would hire me to write the obituaries, expanded obituaries of people who didn't expect them. It was kind of like people were winning the lottery after death. But it was an amazing job, and I met some incredible people and got to write about incredible people. So yes, I love writing about people and their life stories. If you have any questions, you just let me know. Memoir writing is us. Cool. Thank you, BettyJillBooks.com. Please check that out. Okay, so now we're going to show you what the pythons look like. This is for the python hunters. Attention, python hunters. Burmese python marked with external tags. Oh, if you find a Burmese python with a fluorescent external tag, it is part of a research and removal study. Don't harm or touch a tagged python. If captured, let it go. Okay, good Lord. The snail kite, also known as the Everglades snail kite, this endangered raptor inhabits freshwater marshes. When conditions are favorable, a large portion of South Florida's snail kite population nests in the Everglades. Gliding slowly above the marsh, the snail kite searches for apple snails, which it feeds on almost exclusively. The kite hovers briefly before plucking the large snail from the water with its talons. Its thin hooked bill is ideal for removing the soft snail from its shell. That's crazy, apple snails. Wow, and that's all they eat? Ooh. One of the main threats to the snail kite is the loss of open water sloughs that are shallow enough for kites to feed in, but deep enough to maintain healthy apple snail populations. Changes in this delicate balance reduced the southern snail kite population from several thousand to several hundred. That's terrible. The snail kite generally nests in small solitary trees or small clumps of willow. Please use caution when operating airboats in these areas. Do not disturb the snail kite nests. Thank you, Saint Dog. So here we are in the Florida Everglades, and we are here. Now, the Florida Everglades is an ecosystem like no other on the face of the earth. This sawgrass marsh is like a vast, shallow river flowing south from Lake Okeechobee to Florida Bay. Once stretching across 4,000 square miles, the Everglades is only half that size today because of development and farming. Here, the king of the marsh with the lubber on it. Hello, lubber. The American alligator is a common and important resident of the Everglades. The species of alligator that we see today has been around for about 10 to 14 million years, but its ancestors appeared about 30 million years ago. These large blackish colored reptiles eat anything they can overpower, including fish, frogs, birds, turtles, snakes, deer, and other alligators. Prey are usually swallowed whole. Once depleted due to overhunting, the alligator has made a full recovery thanks to committed protection. Look at that dang big wasp. Oh my gosh, and management efforts. Gator holes. This is what a gator hole looks like. Alligators often wallow out depressions called gator holes to help maintain a pool of water. This keeps them cool while at the same time providing habitat for fish and other prey. Alligators also dig a deep hole or a den in the ground for refuge. Gator holes are important to the survival of many different wetland species. Never feed the alligators. It's the law. When fed, alligators lose their fear and begin to associate people with food. A fed alligator often becomes a nuisance alligator that must be removed from the wild. They're commonly seen napping in the sun, but these large predators can move fast and unexpectedly. So always watch the king of the marsh from a good distance, which is why you see me always on an observation deck whenever I see an alligator. I do like to keep it safe, don't you know? I know sometimes you might think I'm a bit of a daredevil here on the Beach Report, but I'm really not. I know some people live their lives being perpetually frightened of everything and everyone. I don't live like that. I walk in faith, and I have absolutely no fear. All right, so this is Alligator Alley. I love that picture. Yes, no humans or animals are harmed in the making of any of my videos. Oh, Mac Daddy says, nothing beats Jill's energy and vibes. It's so inspiring and positive. Thank you. Here's a little information about the Alligator Alley. Went from a state road to a superhighway. Since 1968, Alligator Alley, which is what you see right behind me, has guided motorists across South Florida. Discover the evolution of this historic road that leads through the vast forested wetlands of the Everglades. It opened in 1968, February to be exact, after 4 years of construction. This two-lane road was originally named Everglades Parkway, or State Road 84. One of the most controversial Florida roadways ever built. It was desolate, dangerous, and a narrow road that most motorists would avoid. Many predicted it would just become an alley for alligators. Joining in the hype, the state officially and proudly adopted the name Alligator Alley. As the population of South Florida grew, the need for improved interstate networks arose. In 1973, an extension of Interstate 75 was approved to connect the west and east coast from Tampa, St. Petersburg to Miami. This extension rebranded Alligator Alley from State Road 84 to Interstate 75. The future of Little Alligator Alley was about to change. Several options were considered for the new highway. Transforming Alligator Alley proved the winner. It would avoid construction of an entirely new roadway while affording an opportunity to improve issues within the existing road. From 1986 to 1992, the Florida Department of Transportation widened Alligator Alley to 4 lanes and brought it up to Federal Highway Administration standards. Today, Alligator Alley offers fast, safe, and efficient passage across South Florida and the wild expanse of the Florida Everglades. It is the final link to connect Interstate 75 from Detroit, Michigan, all the way to Miami, Florida. Isn't that crazy? 75 all the way up to Michigan and all the way down to the Everglades. I love it. I love the history of Florida, and I love living here. The heat, I don't even mind it so much. You can see it's pretty hot today, but I've got a covering over me, so my phone won't melt, so we'll be okay. Now here's what I like about Alligator Alley. Yes, it's a toll road. However, a portion of the money from the tolls goes towards protecting the Florida Everglades. More than $60 million in toll money has been raised to fund projects that help restore and preserve the wondrous Everglades. Help from your toll money the Everglades and Florida Bay can be restored. The 1994 U.S. congressional bill included the Everglades Forever Act and signed it into law as part of the transportation bill. This act allows toll funds to be used for Everglades restoration projects. The funds are administered by the South Florida Water Management District. From habitat restoration to water quality research, these projects benefit wildlife and humans alike. According to the Everglades Forever Act, the Everglades ecosystem must be restored and must be preserved and protected in a manner that is long-term and comprehensive. They monitor freshwater, saltwater, brackish water throughout the Everglades to better understand the condition of these important resources. Other projects that benefit from the Everglades Fund include mapping seagrass beds, monitoring mangrove resilience, and removing harmful invasive species. So this is why if I'm going to take a toll road, it's going to be Alligator Alley. And you can stop in several places and learn more about the Everglades, like we just did, and maybe see an alligator or 2 or 3 or more. All right, you guys, it is so hot here and I got to get back in my car. I'm heading over to the west coast of Florida today to see my dear friend. And I'll be over there for a few days because I got to work on a book. You see me every day coming here on the show, but I am also a journalist, an author, and a book publisher. And sometimes I got to take some time out to do that work. And it's difficult for me because it means I got to sit in front of a computer, and Lord knows I hate that. But we do what we have to do. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to hole up because it's a lot more fun on the East Coast, and on the West Coast, I tend to get things done. All right, you guys, I'm glad you were here. I'm glad you got to see a real Florida gator. That is probably some of my best Florida gator shots I've ever gotten before. Fred is absolutely beautiful. All right, you guys, we'll see you on the next beach report. So have a great day, and I'm hoping to catch a beautiful West Coast Florida sunset. Thank you so much, Betty. I always love your sparkles. Have a wonderful day, you guys. And don't ever talk about safety, Mac Daddy, because safety is an illusion and I don't believe in it. Don't be safe. Be adventurous, be fun. And more importantly, always have no fear. All right. Catch you later, guys. Ciao for now.